Hello there. So we got part 2 of the atmosphere and melody section. I was listening back to the drums and pads, and I realised that there's a big gap here and here where the pad has the long attack to come in. So what we're going to do in this episode is create sort of an interesting and textured sound to fill up this area, and I want it to be an impact sound. So I've got loads of samples here from a sample pack called the Egoless pack, which someone put together, and it's free and it's amazing. You should get it. So pot hit, him rubbing the bottom of his shoe, zipper on trousers, another one of a zipper, and just a switch. So we're going to be stacking these up to create an impact, which we're then going to use granular synthesis to make it more textured and interesting. Alright. So this, I think that'll sound good reversed towards the end of the sound. I'll probably make the impact about this long. So I'll do that. I'm going to go through this and listen to which is the best and most textured sound. I mean, I can see that it's this one here, so I'm just going to trim this down. Listening out for the best bit in this, which is blatantly going to be that. So I'm going to stick that at the start. This looks nice. Yep. Whip that away. And what I'm doing when I'm lining them up is I'm trying to extend the sound so then it's morphing over a long time rather than a huge impact right at the start. So I'm going to reverse this so that it creeps in slowly and then peaks just after this one stops. So quick listen to what we've got at the moment. Okay, I'm going to shorten this. And these switches, I think I can probably, I'll chuck a couple more in unquantized, so take that out. And I'm going to change the volume of a couple of them randomly, because I've done that consolidate together and it's quite loud. So I'm just going to take the volume of all of them down a bit. Okay, that's quite cool. So I'm just going to treat them a little bit individually, quite like that as it is. This would sound good with a bit of reverb on, so I'm going to add that in and go for a bit of a long reverb. Small size. Okay, that sounds cool. Reverb on this as well. Cool, so it sounds like a bit of a rip at the moment, but I wanted it to be more of an impact, so I'm going to find something to layer underneath these ones. Yeah, this sounds perfect. Take this section. And low pass it. And for a bit of if you look here, where this line is called the zero crossing, which on a sound is when the speaker is right in the middle. If a sound started up here instead of ramping up like that, then the speaker would be popping out infinitely fast. If that makes any sense. If this is time, instead of ramping up, if the sound wave started here, the speaker would be popping out infinitely fastly. it's kind of hard to explain. So for a bit of that popping effect, I'm just going to take a couple of sections of this and plant it in there. So it's a lot more textured now. Cool. Play with the volumes a little bit. Maybe can't hear enough of this. Okay, that sounds cool. So now the thing to do is I'm going to group these together and I'll just call it original and see if it clips the entire thing, which it does. Take it down so it's not clipping, and then we're going to record it into a new channel. So new audio channel, resample, record, and record away. Perfect. Let's crop that. And we can get rid of that if we want. Gone. Cool. So now we've got this, we're going to put it into a granular synth called Alchemy, which is amazing. So we've got the 4 oscillators here, and you can import audio to each of the 4 oscillators. So we're going to take the sample we just made and put it into Alchemy, but it takes friggin' ages on Ableton, so I'm going to meet you after we've done that. Cool, bye! Hello again. So I've got one of the samples on each of these 3 oscillators. What granular synthesis is basically is it takes a sound and divides it up into loads of little sounds, and then using different functions like density, which is how many grains it chops it up into, and size, which is the size of the grain, you can create very textured sounds. So just I mean, that's our sound, which has been made a little bit granular already, so it's a bit kind of bubbly. So we're going to take density down. Right, you can hear that it's very kind of, it sounds a bit like a rip, and I think if we stretch that, it's going to accent the dynamics of it. Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds pretty good for one of the oscillators. Turn it off and move on to B. Hear what they sound like together? Pretty cool. And on to C. I'm gonna tune this down, I think, because that sounds quite cool. And together. Right, so we've got a nice textured impact sound there. Right, now we're going to resample this back into the channel we sampled it with originally. Just hit record and... No, we need to put a MIDI note in. So I've been pressing C. That's what I'm going to record. 2 bars of it. Why isn't that working? Because I haven't hit play. There we go. Alright, goodbye alchemy. So granular impact. Alright, let's put this in our project and see what it sounds like. Okay, nothing much at the moment, but we're going to change that. Okay. First things first, EQ, spectrum analyzer. Right, well it's immediately obvious to me that there's more bass than top end, so I'm going to add some top end in around the 500 Hz gritty mark. I'm going to take out a big section at 100 Hz, which is where our kick's coming through. And there's a nice sort of, yeah, the rippy sound up there, so add that in. Take it down so we don't clip it. Perfectly. Perfect, I mean. So now I'm thinking, what do I like about the sound and what do I want to accent? This section up here with the rip sound at the top, I like that. I'm going to put an overdrive on to catch the top of it. What's this? 649. Yeah, I prefer it there. Cool. Alright, join me in part 2 where we'll be finishing up the sound.